Absolutely, here's a rewritten, more unique version of that explosive narrative, packed with tension and character insight. Anthony Joshua didn't just endorse Chris Eubank Jr., he lit a match under the whole rivalry. After witnessing Eubank's brutal training grind firsthand, Joshua came away visibly impressed. But more than that, he delivered a harsh verdict. Conor Benn isn't cut from the same cloth. His words weren't dipped in diplomacy. They were sharp, unapologetic, and dismissive. According to Joshua, Benn is riding a wave of noise, not substance. Eubank Jr., for his part, has zero
work. I just know that as soon as that bell goes, I'm going to be completely comfortable in whatever situation that he tries to put me in. I think I'm going to go in there. And like I said, I'm going to take him to school. I don't see the day failing these two drugs tests, in my opinion, is unacceptable. People have been paralyzed, people have died. So for anybody who is out there thinking to cheat, they have to be made an example of. They have to be punished, they have to be embarrassed.
I work hard, I've made loads of sacrifices, and that's why I'm where I am, not because of cheating.
The bad guy is back again. He still never cheats. He still never lies. Still never cuts any corners, yet he is still the bad guy.
Zero interest in playing respectful. He's not just confident, he's ice-cold and scornful. To him, Conor Benn is a boy masquerading as a man, plunging into deep waters with no idea how far down it goes. Eubank isn't analyzing tape or crafting complex strategies. In his mind, there's nothing to fear, no real threat in Benn's so-called power, no danger in his aggression. To Eubank, this isn't a clash of equals. It's a public lesson, a dismantling. This isn't a fight. Eubank all but growls. It's a tutorial. He believes Benn has already lost, not because of mistakes in the ring, but by daring.
He's a big favourite in the fight, but coming up 2 weight classes, it makes it a 50-50 fight, and you ain't gonna
to step into it at all. On the other side of the equation, Eddie Hearn doesn't sugarcoat the looming threat. He's warning of the reality. Benn isn't just facing a sharper fighter. He's entering a battlefield designed by nature to favor the bigger man. 2 weight classes up isn't a strategic shift. It's a physical risk bordering on reckless. The difference in mass, stamina, and raw force could turn every round into a survival test. And that's the gamble. At his natural weight, Benn might have held the edge in speed and ferocity. But now, he's charging into hostile territory. One mistimed move could be catastrophic. Eubank's gas tank, size, and experience lean heavily in his favor, and the ring won't offer do-overs. Still, Benn's camp remains unshaken.
It's been a long time coming, over 2 years we've been waiting, so I feel like the day's coming closer and closer to us. But all that time he's been working on different aspects of his game, and I think he's a lot more improved now than he was 12 months ago. So, it's going to be a tough fight because both Conor and Chris Eubank, as we all know the history of the fathers, there's a lot of pride there between both of them, so you're going to expect them both to come in tremendous condition for them.
Tony Sims, Benn's longtime coach, insists there's more beneath the surface. Quietly, deliberately, Benn has been transforming, adding layers to his arsenal, evolving into something far more refined and dangerous than the version that captured early headlines. For Sims, this isn't about hype or heritage. It's about hunger and revenge. This feud has been boiling for over 2 years. Now, it's ready to erupt on the grand stage. The question hanging in the air like a thundercloud. Is Benn's fire enough to burn through Eubank's steel? Absolutely. Here's a more uniquely rephrased and elevated version of that dramatic buildup, giving it a sharp, visceral tone while keeping the essence intact. Conor Benn has undergone a complete metamorphosis, both physically and mentally, emerging as a far colder, more unforgiving presence in the ring.
A younger man at his prime, yeah? Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if Ben, especially the way he fights like his father, very aggressive, yeah? And listen, if I'm gonna have to, I normally can't say to you, predict what I believe will happen. Christopher Jr. is the bigger man, granted. It depends. It depends. If he's been living the lifestyle, that's also a factor.
He's no longer the raw, emotional fighter of the past. He's methodical now, ruthless. But this fight isn't just about present-day skill or form. It's rooted in something far deeper, a legacy steeped in pride, pain, and the ghosts of unfinished business. This isn't merely Benn versus Eubank Jr. It's a generational reckoning. The shadows of Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank Sr. loom large over this clash, casting a pressure so heavy most fighters would crack beneath it. For both sons, victory isn't just expected, it's demanded. They're not stepping in to just win rounds. They're walking into the ring to carve their names alongside legends. This is personal. This is bloodline warfare. Both men are expected to peak under the spotlight, dialed in, dangerous, and ready to make a statement that will echo far beyond the final bell. The ring isn't just a stage, it's a proving ground for family honor. Dawn. Charles, meanwhile, plays it cool with public predictions, calling it a 50-50 contest. But between the lines, his belief is clear. He sees the divide. In his eyes, Chris Eubank Jr. is leagues ahead, tactically, physically, and mentally. The conversations about age gaps and weight jumps? Smokescreens. The reality is that Eubank's experience, ring generalship, and physical presence put him on another tier. Charles might not say it openly, but the message is written in his tone. This isn't a fair fight. This is Eubank's to lose. Raw energy and youthful aggression may set the tone, but they don't guarantay a win.
I said to myself, this is where I belong, this is where I have to be, you know? So it just motivates me a lot.
Before I let you go, and obviously good luck to you on the weekend. It's a big card, a lot of things going on. I want to ask you about a fight that, you know, a lot of people are going to be talking about in 2 weeks' time. You're a fighter stood in front of me, famous fathers, Eubank and Benn, Chris Eubank Jr, Conor Benn. Talk to me about that fight. Does that excite you? And if it does, how do you...
Battles like these, it's the sharper mind, the wiser fighter who holds the edge. But not everyone's convinced. Tony Bellew, never one to bite his tongue, is backing Benn with fierce loyalty and unfiltered passion. He sees a warrior in Conor, a fighter forged in hardship, molded by pressure long before he ever turned professional. To Bellew, Benn isn't some reckless brawler. He's a soldier, ready for war. When Eubank Jr.'s name comes up, though, Bellew's demeanor shifts. There's no respect in his voice, just contempt. He labels Eubank not as charismatic, but as cold, clinical, and arrogant. For Bellew, Eubank Jr. represents entitlement and ego, not heart and hunger. The stage is...
let alone the fight
has made it crystal clear where his allegiance lies, and he's not afraid to
takes
show
a lot
it.
of mental strength. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of heart, you know, mental strength. It's a huge thing in boxing.
It's a big thing in life, even outside of boxing, right? In business and in all, I think, great endeavors. Do you think it's something that you can, from what you've seen in the gym, something you can teach or train?
Set for a collision of styles, temperaments, and legacies. And once that bell rings, words won't matter anymore. Absolutely, here's a more polished and unique version of that fiery breakdown, tailored with a sharper edge and narrative flow, while keeping that raw energy alive. It could easily double as a script for a video segment or editorial piece too. Tony Bellew, Chris Eubank Jr.'s antics aren't displays of confidence. They're fueled by ego. In Bellu's eyes, Eubank isn't chasing legacy. He's chasing the spotlight. He sees a showman, not a soldier. Meanwhile, Bellu's allegiance to Conor Benn runs deep. It's not just professional, it's emotional. For Bellu, this is like watching family step into a storm, and he's all in, heart and soul. This isn't just a fight, it's a clash between two ideologies. Respect versus arrogance, hunger versus, and the tension doesn't stop there. Frank Warren didn't hold back when asked about Eubank Jr. He went straight for the throat. With brutal honesty, he branded Eubank a prick, not even flinching when pressed to explain. For Warren, it's not about skill or stats, it's about character.
If Ben beats him, can you see where that thought process comes from? Obviously Conor stepping up 2 weights, the amount of bad blood there's been.
Yeah, maybe then you just don't know. Maybe where does he go from there if Conor beats him? I'm not trying to say Conor's any less of a, but yeah, Chris is obviously the guy who should beat him because he's a lot heavier, maybe more seasoned, but you know, it's definitely a 50-50 fight in my eyes. I think Conor's going to beat him. So yeah, you can see where that thought process comes from, but you know, who knows? I know Chris likes to play poker a lot, so maybe he comes back for the...
He simply can't stand how Eubank carries himself, especially in the public eye. This isn't just a sporting critique, it's a personal feud, and Warren's words have only thrown more fuel on an already raging fire. Then there's Darren Till, weighing in on the chaos and zeroing in on Eubank Jr.'s bombshell, the claim that he'll retire if Conor Benn beats him. It's a high-stakes statement, and Till understands the weight behind it. A loss wouldn't just hurt Eubank's record, it could shatter everything he's built, especially given the legacy involved and the fact Benn is stepping up 2 weight classes to meet him. But here's the twist. Till doesn't see Eubank as the clear-cut favorite. Far from it. He sees this as a razor-close matchup. Sure, Eubank brings size, experience, and chin to the table, but Benn, he brings chaos. Raw, unpredictable aggression. And that kind of wild card can tear a game plan to pieces. The big question, is Eubank's retirement threat real, or just another mind game? Till's not so sure. He knows Eubank loves